Participant at Rehan's AI Teachers Training Bootcamp 3, and my specialty is also in search engine optimization, SEO, YouTube automation, WordPress, AI coding, AI developing, and more others. So that's why today, in front of me, a special guest, as you know that also every day we have an special guest, but once of them that today it is my absolutely honor to welcome a true visionary leader to today's episode, a woman whose journey exemplifies resilience, reinvention, and relentless purpose. So, first of all, I will introduce her in front of you. She is Kimberly. Began her life with a deep love for science. From a young age, she aspired to become a scientist, and the passion carried her through the rigorous study of physics and chemistry. While mathematics presented challenges, Kimberly was guided and through sheer determination, she earned her bachelor's degree in the both of physics and chemistry, followed by master's in physics. She went on to break barriers as one of the first two female prepared technicians working with mass spectroscopy and analytical instrument. Hewlett-Packard's chemical analysis division, now known as uh, I think Agilent Technologies. Her decade-long journey at HP spans seven different roles over the 10 years, and each building her foundation as a highly skilled technology and leader in Silicon Valley. Kimberly does not stop there. She thrived in the dynamic world of startup, joining several early-stage ventures, always advancing towards more impactful roles with greater responsibilities and rewards. Over time, her focus evolved from her science engineering to the human side of the business, exploring exploring the leadership, team dynamic, organized culture, innovation, and design thinking. Today, Kimberly is a globally respected consultant and change maker in corporate transformation and system sustainability. Her mission is deeply aligned with building a better world, one where business is not just profitable but also purpose driven and sustainable for our planet and future generation. So this is introduction for her, and also I will request her to please, ma'am, introduction yourself because I briefly defined you, and if I left anything, you have to define.
Wayne, you are doing an amazing job. What an incredible introduction. Thank you for your preparation. For the last 20 years, I have been working mostly with global Japanese companies. And right now, I am in Chicago. Last week and next week, we'll be working with this wonderful company that's one of the biggest companies in Japan by market capitalization. And I just so enjoy facilitating with my rubber chicken workshop learning labs that turn managers into leaders and groups into true teams who can achieve together what seems highly unlikely or even impossible. And it's not difficult. That's the funny thing.
Yes, it's not difficult, and if your like persons are available in among us, that it is not difficult. You are doing very good, and also I am also telling you that I am head of technology at Global Abundance Organization, uh, created by us as the first abundance wala, as you know that. Okay, so
Beautiful.
yes. So first of all, my question is from personally, and I want to ask from you if you facing the challenges in the mathematics. After that, you choose a physics and chemistry. It is totally mainly. It is not totally, but mostly mathematics is related with it. So, what is journey behind this, and why you choose?
Yeah, somehow I was convinced that I was not good at mathematics by a In high school, a teacher was not very patient and did not help me. So I struggled. So when I went to college, I first started by studying something that had very little mathematics. But fortunately, I was working part time at a applied physics small company, and they said, "Kimberly, what are you telling me? You're really good at science. You should study science." So I changed my major to a double major in physics and chemistry. And yes, I found the math challenging, and I was able to succeed because I would do each of the problems 3 times. Once when they were first due for homework, I'd do all the problems. Then before each exam, I would do all of the homework problems again. And then before the final exam, I would do all the homework problems for the third time. And I remember
Oh,
once on a calculus test getting 100%, and the professor said, "Oh, I remember you." So, it was hard work. But the sad thing was the math sort of took the love out of the science, the magic. Because what I love about science is the amazing science behind it. The math is just a language that we use to express that science in some ways. And it's not totally necessary to enjoy the scientific piece of it.
and do you know, I also, from the beginning of my education, I also faced the mathematics, but still, I decided that math is not my part of when my education. Just still, I am facing the challenges with it. But due to this problem, I choose medical, and I studied in Form D. So that's why it was very challenges for me from the beginning of my education. So I changed my but the subjects as a biology, the other medical subjects, and also but you still uh, on that subject, and also choose the physics as a master degree.
Mm.
Is I listen many podcasts of you have done with the people, and also I today I mentioned you interest was in scientist to become a scientist, that how much time you work on research and your life, and what was the topic.
Oh, well, I only worked on real science directly in graduate school. I was working on surface analysis, the top few molecules or atoms of a material can be quite different than the underlying structures. So I was doing Auger spectroscopy of materials. But when I got out of graduate school, I got a job repairing big complex instruments, and I liked that a lot. And then I got a job manufacturing, being a manufacturing engineer for those kinds of products. And then I got a job doing explosion testing of those kinds of products, and eventually I got into R&D, helping to lead product development of next generation mass spectrometers. And that was very, very exciting for me because you have an idea of the next thing you want to create, and the first one you build doesn't work, and there are all kinds of problems. So you need to take a risk, make a prototype, do some testing, see what happens, and then say, "Oh, what didn't work? Let's change it. Let's make it better." So it was very interesting for me to learn that. And then I found that I could move from hardware, software, firmware, complex systems with chemicals and all kinds of high vacuum, high pressure, high voltage. I could move from there to software or combinations of that and consumer electronics. And I started to realize no matter what kind of product I was working on in the R&D and engineering area, it was always the same human being problems. Leadership and teams and organizational culture and project management and uh, Yeah, human beings, teams, right? So I wrote my book, Scrappy Project Management: The 12 Predictable and Avoidable Pitfalls Every Project Faces. And I decided to start focusing more on the human people contributions and process contributions of the problems in the business world. The products and technology, that's the easy part by comparison. You know, because you have to talk to human beings, right? I mean, it's probably much harder for
Yes,
you to do that than it is to do the technology or the math.
yes, yes. But uh, moving towards the next question, and I really, it is very honor for me that you are in front of me and I am speaking with you. It is our first podcast, and I want to learn from you a lot. And I remember always this podcast because
Huh,
you gave me a special time, a precious time. Now,
thank you.
moving towards another question that you mentioned on your profile that I am a citizen of planet Earth, residents of Silicon Valley, and working for a better world for all. Working for a better world for all. What it means and what project do you have in current and what you are working now. What's the meaning of this thing in deeply? Can you define it?
Yeah. I was so inspired by the story of astronauts when they were far away from Earth and saw this little blue dot called planet Earth, where all these billions of people are living, and there were no country borders visible. And they said, "Oh my God, we're this tiny rock floating in this giant universe in the galaxy." And they all came back to Earth feeling differently about being on planet Earth. That's how I feel. We are sharing this planet. And I live in Silicon Valley, which I love because in Silicon Valley, there's about almost 10 million people. No, the San Francisco Bay Area, including Silicon Valley. And over half of us don't speak English at home. It's very diverse, it's very global. And I'm working for a better world for all. Well, hey, if we want to really transform planet Earth, I strongly believe one of the most powerful forces are global businesses. There are many companies that do business in over 190 countries. There are companies I've worked with that do business in over 100 countries. And I'm currently working with two companies that do business in 40 or 50 countries. These businesses do more to connect humanity across this planet Earth, this little blue dot, than many other governmental organizations. I strongly believe that when products and services and money cross borders, bullets and bombs do not. And we can have a
Mm,
safer, better earth together if we do business together. Now, the other thing I'm hoping, and I think we can do with global businesses, is a sustainable future. Over 230 businesses are members of the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, and they met and said, look at, we can't make profit if the world is destroyed. We can't have stock price if the world is destroyed. So they are working to create a sustainable future that's profitable. I love it because I have kind of lost faith in government fixing problems. I've also lost faith in United Nations fixing problems. I think maybe global businesses have more incentive to fix the problems of our world than governments and even the United Nations.
I am so happy and I want to salute my both hands in front of my audience. What is the idea? What you have put and what you have defined? in your working business, and what clapping for this.
Ah,
I
you two
really, I
together.
really
Look at
impressed.
we're connecting across the world, you know? I mean, come to my home someday, have dinner. Rihan, the founder of Rihan School, was at my home a
Yes,
few months ago. We had a
yes,
nice party
he,
there. And last month, I saw him in my hometown at the Startup Grind conference. So it's a small planet. Let's all share it peacefully, generously, gracefully.
wow. I cannot explain whom I am speaking with you, and also so happy, so happy because I cannot explain my happiness now that the person whom I speaking it's very genius, very genius. Her
Okay.
ideas are very
Mhm.
impressive. I am 100% impressed from your idea, and as you know that we are in the stage of war now. We are you with Pakistan and India. Instead of this, instead of this, that we have to trade with each other, business trade. Uh, we don't want a war. We want peace. And if uh, every people after India and Pakistan also want the peace, but this is a political problems that they don't want each other. I don't know what is the reason behind this, but we also, I, if the people are understanding about your mission, maybe they can set their mind according to what are their expectation from each other, and they can work on this. I will suggest them, you have to suggest them, you are also working on this mission, and maybe if you now you are working in two countries, maybe after 1 year, after 2 years, after 3 years, in your whole life, maybe your mission is to 100 or 100 plus, that you can do, you can do, because if you started with two, you can do with all with what, yeah, the which countries are in your mind. Thank you so much for this
well,
wonderful ideas you define.
well, last week we were working with 20 business people from 10 different countries, and they have no problem communicating and enjoying each other, having fun together. They had lunch and dinner and breakfast, and they went out to see Chicago. And by the end of the week, they are like friends. They are. They don't want the countries to kill each other. I mean, it's really crazy. You know, the governments have different motivations. Human beings,
Yes.
I have friends in Pakistan and India. I don't think those people are bad. I don't think they want to kill each other. Something in the government, some kind of power struggle. I really don't understand it. I don't pay attention to it. And I never really watch the news anymore because I have given up on political, crazy government people. And I want to focus on my local community, the region I live in, the connections I have all over the world, the people that come to my workshops. I've worked with people from over 50 different countries, from every continent except Arctic and Antarctic. And I can tell you that we all share so much in common, right? I worked in Chile last year in South America. I've worked in Australia 4 times. I've worked in Thailand. Um, I was in Japan over 100 times. I've been in China many times. I've worked in Mexico and I've worked in Europe many times. I used to live in Germany. I don't find any human beings that I can't make a connection to. Everywhere there are human beings that I can like and enjoy and be friends with. But I don't know why governments cannot do it. Let's focus on creating connections and
The-
businesses, right? Let's make
that's
relationships, help each other. Oh,
That's why also our mentor Sir Rihanna Lawala also doing this thing. If every day he's making our groups of and many individuals with an other person, even if he's from India, even though he's from Israel. So he is asking us that you have to make the friendship with each other and ask from a question why the people are killing in Gaza's people, and ask from the other people that of the India that why they are their government are doing this kind, and make the friends in also in Pakistan that why the political person that why you intellectual we will communicate with each other, we can find everything, we can solve the problems. Maybe our one friend, our one communication can help us a lot. So what about what you can say about this idea of Sir Rehan?
I, yeah, it just makes sense to me. I have friends from so many countries that the U.S. has been at war with. I have friends from Russia. I have friends from China
Hmm.
when they're having these arguments. I have friends from
Yes,
Vietnam where the U.S. was involved in a war for many years. I don't have a
yes,
problem with them. I have many friends from Germany. Okay, they don't support what Hitler did. Uh, it's about human beings finding what do we
yes,
share, what do we care about together, what can we create together that could we can never create alone. Hey, the Earth is facing many challenges. One challenge is okay, some warming, CO2, methane, and another challenge is hey, there's big asteroids that could strike the Earth and suddenly black out the sun. So it would be global cooling. 70,000 years ago, a big volcano blocked out the sun and most human beings died. I mean, we are living on this little tiny rock and we're flying around this big ball of fire called the sun. I think we should figure out how do we live here together? How can we protect ourselves and each other? How can we be ready if the planet gets too hot? How can we reduce the temperature? How can we, if the planet gets too cold, how can we still grow food? How can we clean the atmosphere? We need to have tools in human being toolbox to live on this crazy piece of rock flying through outer space around a big ball of fire. So I'm working on
yes.
that. Very interested in climate change and sustainability. And global warming is not the only problem. Global cooling could happen quite suddenly if a big volcano explodes or if a giant meteor hits the earth like the one that killed the dinosaurs.
Yes, ma'am. And also my organization, Global Abundance Organization, have same idea. We our ideas are mostly interrelated with each other. So we are also working on this on the globally, that if we have abundance mindset. Abundance means what? If I am interested and I have my skills in technology, you have skills in business, other person have skills in other leadership, and we have to connect at one platform, we communicate with each other, we have to teach something new special to one another. That is abundance mindset that we have to work on this, and this is why best, and we can do this thing, we have to do this. It will be help us to make relation with each other on what we are belonging. It's no matter, but it's our communication, it's our mindset, it's our abundance mindset, and we can do this thing.
Absolutely. Oh, I love your spirited energy. I am so looking forward to you come to visit us in Silicon Valley, San Francisco Bay Area, and we'll have a wonderful lunch out on the patio at my home. And then we'll go walking along the bay and we'll see what we can create together that we could never create alone.
Yes, ma'am. I will come, and I am mostly interested in USA and many. I want to visit this, and I am working on my mission and also on my self learning. I am working on my technological field now. I am working on AI and ML, machine learning. So
Okay.
that's why if I will be I will be bastion, I will earn and I will do my business. I can come to the USA and I will meet you. It's my target now. It's my aim to meet you now. And I will do this. If even it get uh, half year, 1 year or 2 year, but I can do this and I will come to USA and I will meet you.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to that. And I'm so glad you're studying AI and all of this because AI is going to be part of all of our lives in many ways. And we are never
Yes.
going to be able to go back to the age before AI. So let's work together to use AI like a tool. Some of my friends are like, oh, it's dangerous. You know what? A hammer is also
Yes.
dangerous. If you use the hammer to build a house, that's wonderful. If you use it to kill people, okay, that's dangerous. AI can be used for good or
Yes.
evil. We must use it responsibly. I agree. But I cannot just sit there and say, oh, let's not use it. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. What people are doing, they are depending upon the AI. They have a somewhere. I listen many TEDx talk, and mostly I didn't remember now. Speaker. They also role when you have to use the AI, you have to focus on the creativity. You if you are curious, you are asking any query from the any ChatGPT, and you have to define your mindset, you have to define your creativity, not your just people. I example in front of you that example that I'm using ChatGPT for the story. Just people what they are doing, they write a story on a person in a city, but and AI, what will AI do? AI will do according to his knowledge and according to the neural network or the other systems which are working on this. And after that, if instead of this, I define everything that story on what the person characters, how many characters, how what clothes or characters wears, eyes of the person, face, everything I define, it will give the best result. And it is my creativity, not a ChatGPT creativity, just it is defining. I am defining and just give it is giving me an answer.
Wonderful. Yes, that's right. And I used AI last week many times in my leadership workshop. I asked it to explain leadership, to analyze some of the business environment. And of course, we use the translation tools and we've used the converting into graphics. It's so powerful at that. Last week, I
Yes.
used it to change something that I was thinking about into an outline that was created into a presentation. It's just amazingly efficient. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. It's amazing, and it is our assistant, not we are assistant of ChatGPT or the other AI tools. So we have to
Uh,
focus on our creativity. We have to not depend totally on AI. We follow our creativity, our rules, what is our creativity, and after that we are using anything about this. So thank you
yeah.
so much, ma'am. uh, Thank you so much
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Actually,
having
my friends
me
and I meet
in front.
every 2 weeks to learn AI together for the last 6 months. And we are meeting, continuing to learn and grow. We must continue to learn. It's a tool. When I first went to college, we were not allowed to use calculators because it was called cheating. Crazy. Right? So, all right. So
I
we'll
think
see you again
I
sometime, maybe in person, huh?
yes. I will come. I will come. It's my promise to you. I will come.
Okay.
One day I will come. Okay. And I think so. The first told me about that we have some podcast together about any topic or any course or thing. He is not explained uh, total, so that's why we will meet in that course, and I want to learn from you a lot.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your precious time today and have a good evening.
Th- Thank you so much, your precious time, ma'am. I want to request you that you have to uh, give any suggestion or the points according to in front of my audience, even in one line or the few words that it will help. Maybe it can change the mind of the people and help them a lot.
Yes. So, one of the things that has made a huge impression on my life is when something bad happens, I ask, what is the treasure hidden in this tragedy? What is the diamonds hidden in the doggy poo? And I look for the opportunities hidden in bad things because sometimes you cannot tell good luck from bad luck when it's happening. So, whenever something bad happens to you, ask, what does this make possible that would not have been possible before? And dig for the treasures.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's very important for everyone that your wine, your words are like a diamond also, and it can change life in everyone. So thank you so much. We are ending the podcast, and thank you so much,
Okay.
ma'am, for coming on my invitation here. And it's honor for me that you are in front of me and my audience. That I learned a lot from you, and I must can say this that if any audience will listen us our whole podcast, maybe it can learn a lot from you, and your journey, your words and your sentences are like a diamond, and they can get a diamond also. So thank
Oh,
you so
thank
much
you so
again.
much.
This is a wisdom worth sharing podcast, and also you can see about the wisdom of Ma'am Kimberly. So we are ending our podcast. Thank you so much, all of you. God bless you all.